Hello, good afternoon, students. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Just a second, I
Afternoon,
will share my
doctor.
screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, doctor.
Okay. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have seen the Z transform. So this is about the last lecture because we will now today we will do the inverse Z transform. How to calculate the inverse Z transform if h of z is given. Okay, so we know that the what is the Z transform of some particular standard signal, like the impulse response delta of t. We know that the impulse response Z transform is 1 for all Z. Like that, we know the the Z transform of the some standard response. Okay, so we know that how to calculate this Z transform here. With this formula, we know the forward transformation. So in the last lecture, we have seen forward transformation. That is, we have calculated h of z from the h of n with this formula. Okay, now today we will do the inverse transformation. Now, for the inverse transformation, this h of z will be known to us and we need to calculate h of n. Okay, now here you see the formula here for the inverse transformation. So the inverse transformation is calculated like this: 1 by 2 pi j, this is circular integration, h of z, z to the power n minus 1 dz. Okay, so how we got this formula? So I will not go in deep with this how we got this formula. There is one derivation for this inverse z transformation, but you just remember this formula. Okay, so h of n is nothing but 1 by 2 pi j. Do not forget this j. This is circular integration of h of z, z to the power n minus 1 dz. Okay, now in this, when we calculate the inverse transformation, so in this region of convergence is also given. Okay, h of z and region of convergence for the particular problem will be given. So last in the last lecture we have seen the region of convergence. Okay, so there are three possible cases. Just a second. Huh. So these are the valid ROC, region of convergence shape. Okay. And one more thing you need to remember: region of convergence should not, the poles should not be included in the region of convergence. That will not be the valid case. Okay. So we know that the outer ROC, that is right sided ROC, this first one. Then the middle one is the inner ROC, or we can say that the inside, the left side ROC, and the third one is the ring ROC, annular like shape. Okay, ring like shape. So these three are the only valid ROC shape. Okay, so when we calculate h of the h of n from h of z, we will be known the ROC and h of z. Okay, now in this case, Okay, so this is the formula for inverse transformation. This. Okay, so here we will be doing the circular integration instead of summation. Okay, why? Because this z is the continuous value. This z is the continuous value. Z is what? Z is r e to the power j omega. So this z is basically r e to the power j omega. We know that this omega is continuous. Therefore, this z is continuous. And if this quantity is continuous, then we need to do the integration. Okay, instead of summation. Therefore, here circular integration is used. Now, so first we will see the standard Z transform for the standard signal. Like we know that the delta of n, the Z transformation of delta of n is 1 for all Z. Region of convergence is very important. Now the Z transform of the unit step signal u of n is unit step signal is 1 by 1 minus Z inverse. And here this z is greater than 1. Okay, now for this unit impulse, if a to the power n is multiplied with this unit impulse, then what is the z transform? So you can see here the z transform for this signal is 1 by 1 minus a z inverse. And here the region of convergence is z greater than a. Modulus of z is greater than a in this case. Okay, so we should know the standard z transformation of the signal. Okay, like you can see here the z transformation of minus of u of minus n minus 1. Now this is, you can see this is left sided signal. Okay, here n is equal to minus 1. So in this case, what is the Z transformation? You can see here the Z transformation is same, but what is the region of convergence here? Here the region of convergence is mod of Z is less than 1. Okay, you will see the left sided ROC here, or the interior ROC. Okay, so the Z transform of delta function for this delayed n minus m. So the Z transform for this is Z to the power minus m. Okay, where Z is not equal to 0 if m is greater than 0, and Z is not equal to infinity if m is less than 0. Okay, so this is the Z transform for this. Now, if I am having this signal multiplied by a to the power n, so in this case, the only change is what? 1 by 1 minus a z inverse, but the region of convergence here is z less than a. Okay, z less than a. Here z is greater than a. Region of convergence for this signal, right-sided signal. This is left-sided signal. How we are saying right-sided signal? Because this will start with n equal to 0, unity like this structure. This is having this structure. Why this is left-sided signal? This will be having this signal. If we plot, this is minus of this. So this is having magnitude 1 at n equal to minus 1, and minus 2, minus 3 will exist. From 0 onwards, the positive n values will be 0. Okay. Then n into a to the power n u of n. So this is basically from the property. If n is multiplied by this signal, then we have seen we need to take the derivative with respect to z, right? So in the last lecture also we have seen properties, and for this the z transformation is like this. This is basically the dz of what? A to the power n u of n. A to the power n u of n, what is the transformation? This. Okay, and if we do the derivative of this with respect to z, so you will get this, and here the region of convergence will be same, z will be greater than a. Okay, again for the negative sequence signal, if n is multiplied, so you also need to do the derivative of that signal. Okay, but here you can see this and this quantity is same, but the region of convergence is different. Here z is less than a. Okay, for cos function it is like this. So in the last lecture, actually we have not seen cos, sine. This term we have not seen, but this is the standard transformation for this cos, sine, r to the power n. Okay, this is just an extra thing here. Cos, sine, r to the power n, cos of thing, r to the power n, sine of thing. Okay. Now, suppose we will now we'll take one example. Suppose h of z is given like this: 3 divided by 1 plus 3 by 4 z inverse, and the ROC is given where mod of z is greater than 3 by 4. Okay. Now, from the table here, this is the form like we can use the, if we compare this with the 1 minus a z to the power minus 1, where a is equal to 3 by 4. Correct? If we take this 3 outside, this is 1 by 1. Now this we can write 1 minus of minus 3 by 4 z to the power minus 1. Okay, so we can use this transformation. Now this is the z transform of what? Which signal? Z transform of a to the power n u of n. Correct? So like this, we can apply this formula and we can see that now here in this case, we know that mod of z is greater than this a value, which is given like ROC is given, modulus of z is greater than this 3 by 4. Okay. Now here this h of z, this is split like this. So we are in the form like this: 3 into 1 divided by 1 minus a to the power z inverse. Now the inverse z transform of this is what? So I can take this, keep this 3 as it is. Now here a is equal to minus 3 by 4. Therefore, minus 3 by 4 to the power n u of n. Okay, so the inverse Z transform for this is like this. Okay, now in this case, what is given ROC is mod of Z is greater than 3 by 4. Now, if mod of Z is less than 3 by 4 is given, in that case, what will happen? If mod of Z is less than A, now we know the Z transform of this minus a to the power n u of n minus 1. Now this is if we plot this ROC. Now suppose this is 3 by 4 and mod of z is less than 3 by 4, then this is interior ROC we will be having. Okay, this is interior ROC. And for interior ROC, or this is left sided ROC. And we know that for the left sided ROC, the signal should be also left sided. Therefore, we should use this formula u of minus n minus 1 minus of this. Okay, so we know that the z transform of this signal is like this, where ROC is interior ROC or the left sided ROC. Okay. Now for our case, again we will split this. So we will write this 3 by 1 plus 3 by 4 z minus, we will write this as it is like 1 minus of minus 3 by 4 z to the power minus 1. Okay. Now for this signal, if we compare this to this and this, so for this signal is like this, inverse Z transformation is like this. So for this we will write 3, we will keep outside. Now this is minus of a to the power m, therefore minus of minus 3 by 4 to the power n, u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so the inverse Z transformation of this is this. Now you can check here, you can just see here the example 1 and example 2. What is the difference? H of Z is same here, but ROC is different. Here ROC is mod of Z is greater than this 3 by 4. Therefore, the inverse Z transform of this signal is like this. Okay, where this signal is right-sided signal. Okay. Now, because of this ROC given, interior ROC, we should use this formula, and the inverse Z transform of this is this minus of 3, this minus 3 by 4 to the power n, u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so you should focus on the ROC given. Okay, when we do the inverse Z transformation, very important ROC, you should look into the ROC, what ROC is given. Now let us take the next example. So this H of Z is given here. Now we know that H of Z is what? This is the ratio of polynomial. H of Z is nothing but the ratio of polynomial, P of Z by Q of Z. Okay, so the numerator part represent the zeros and the denominator polynomial represents the poles of the system. Okay. Now here you can see only the polynomial given like 1 plus z to the power minus 1 plus z to the power minus 3. Okay. Here only numerator is given. Now for this polynomial, given polynomial, you can see here this ROC is ROC for this is mod z greater than 0 is given. Okay, so mod z greater than 0 means except z equal to 0, all z plane is the ROC. Okay, now in this case, from the standard signal, from the table here, what we are having in the given h of z, we are having term like z to the power minus 1, z to the power minus 2 like this. Okay, so we know the standard z transform of z delta n minus 1, which is equal to z of minus m. Okay, so we will use this, and we can say that for z to the power minus 1, here m is equal to 1. So therefore, 1 is nothing but delta of n. Inverse Z transform of 1 is delta of m, delta of n, plus this is Z to the power minus 1. Therefore, the inverse Z transform of Z to the power minus 1 is, we can write like delta n minus 1. Okay, similarly, for Z to the power minus 3, it is delta n minus 3. Okay, if uh, plus z to the power minus 4 is there, then plus delta n minus 4 you should write. Okay, and here ROC is given where z is greater than 0. Okay, all are the right sided, you can see. This is the right sided sequence. So this is matched with our given ROC. Okay, now any difficulty till now? Yes, student?
So far, no, doctor.
Okay. Now suppose, now these are the very standard forms given. Now suppose we will be having h of z like this polynomial in terms of z to the power minus 1. Z to the power minus 1 till some. Okay. So we know that h of z is like this, the ratio of polynomial. Okay. Now suppose the polynomial given like h of z is in terms of some polynomial, and this polynomial we can write like this. The numerator part we can like write like this, where the coefficient b k, and this k will go from 0 to m summation over this b of k z to the power minus k, and the denominator part we can write like this. Okay, now if this type of polynomial will be given, then we can use the partial fraction expansion method to solve this inverse transformation. Okay, this is the another form of h of z. Okay, please understand. Okay, now here there are three cases, like the n is the number of poles in the system. This is capital M is the number of zeros in the system. Okay, because the highest power in the numerator polynomial is capital M. So there are m number of zeros in the system. In the denominator, the highest power of z to the power minus 1 is capital N. Therefore, there are n number of poles. Okay. Now there are three possible cases. Like the number of poles are greater than the number of zeros, and there all poles are different. This is the one case. The another case is the number of zeros are more than the number of poles, or maybe equal to the number of poles. Okay, where m is greater than equal to capital N, and where all poles are different. Okay, and the third case where the more than one pole are similar. Okay, there may be two poles similar, three poles similar, like this. So these are the three cases. One is where the number of poles are greater than number of zeros and all poles are different. The second case where number of zeros are greater or equal to the number of poles and all poles are different. And the third case where this can be possible, n greater than m or m greater than n or equal to m, but the number of poles are similar. One more than one number of poles are similar. Okay. So these are the three possible conditions. Just a second. Okay, now we'll go through one by one. So the first case where the number of poles are greater. Okay, so we know that h of z is summation of these zeros divided by summation of these poles, and this we can write like this in the root formation. Okay, so 1 minus dkz to the power minus 1, and if we do the product of this, then this is same like this. Okay, where we can find the pole location using these roots. Okay, now this form we can also write like this: summation from k equal to 1 to n ak divide by 1 minus dk into z to the power minus 1. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are doing partial fraction expansion method, and we are looking into the case number 1. Okay, so if I want to find ak is the constant here. Now how to find ak? Ak can be found like this: ak is equal to 1 minus, this denominator is here. If we multiply this denominator to this h of z, and if we put z equal to dk, then we will get the value of ak. Okay, so ak is equal to this 1 minus dk into z inverse into h of z, and this at z equal to dk, if we calculate, then we'll get the value of ak. So why this is z equal to dk? So if we equate this 1 minus dk into z inverse to 0, so 1 is equal to dk z inverse, and therefore z is equal to dk here. Okay, therefore we are calculating this at z equal to dk. Okay, now on this we will take one example here. Now in this example, find h of n where h of z is given. Now you can see here, now this is not in the standard form. This is the ratio of polynomial. Okay, so the numerator polynomial is having higher minus 1. Z inverse higher power is minus 1. Therefore, m here is equal to 1. For the denominator polynomial, the highest power of z inverse is 2. Therefore, this n equal to 2. Okay, so here we should use the case where n is greater than m. Okay, now the ROC is also given where modulus of z is greater than 1 by 2. It is given. Okay, now how to solve this problem? So first thing is, the numerator is as it is, the denominator polynomial, this is in terms of z inverse to the power 2. So we will get the two roots here. Okay, so this polynomial we should write like this. Okay, so we should write this like 1 minus d1 z inverse, 1 minus d2 z inverse. Okay, so find the value of d1 and d2. This polynomial we can write like this. So 1 by 6 is nothing but minus 1 by 2 into minus 1 by 2. Correct. If we multiply minus 1 by 2 into minus 1 by 3, so we will get 1 by 6, and if we add minus 1 by 2 plus minus 1 by 3, so it is 6. This is minus 3 minus 2, that is minus 5 by 6. So this polynomial we can write like this: 1 minus 1 by 2. One factor is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. Another factor is minus 1 by 3. Okay. Now we have represent this polynomial like this. Now we will apply this formula. So this is equal to k will go from 1 to 2 because there are two poles, n equal to 2. AK divided by 1 minus dk z inverse. Okay. Now here two A1 and A2 we need to find. Okay. So this we can write like this. For k equal to 1, this is A1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z to the power minus 1 plus A2 divided by 1 minus 1 by 3 z to the power minus 1. Okay. This is D1 and this is D2. Okay. Now, what is the formula for AK? AK equal to 1 minus dk z to the power minus 1 into h of z at z equal to dk. Okay. So like this, we will find A1 and A2. So for A1, if I want to find out the A1 value, so A1 is equal to this A1 to denominate the for the denominator part into h of z at z equal to 1 by 2 here. Okay. Now, what is h of z here? H of z is nothing but the given polynomial. H of z is what? 1 minus 2z inverse, and this h of z is equal to 1 minus 2z inverse divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse into 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse. If we multiply this with this term, so this will get cancelled. So we will left with this numerator and this denominator like this. Okay, and we need to find this at z equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so z equal to 1 by 2 means z inverse is equal to 2. This is nothing but z inverse is equal to 2. Correct. So at uh, instead of z inverse, we need to write 2 here. So this is 1 minus 2 into 2 divided by 1 minus 3, 1 by 3 into 2. Okay. So this is what? This is 1 minus 4 divided by 1 minus 2 by 3. This is 3 divided by minus 3. Do not forget this minus sign here. And this is 1 by 3. So which is equal to minus 9. Okay. Similarly, we will find A2. For A2, the denominator part is this into h of z at z equal to 1 by 3. Correct? So if you multiply this with this h of z, so we will remain with the numerator part and this polynomial, this root. So this divide by this at z equal to 1 by 3, that is z inverse is equal to 3. So you can put directly z inverse equal to 3 here and you will get the value. What should be the value here? This is 1 minus 6 divided by 1 minus 3 by 2, which is equal to minus 5, and this is minus 1 by 2. So minus minus will be plus, so this is plus 10. Okay, so now put the value A1 equal to minus 9. Do not forget this sign minus. This small mistake you will do in the exam, okay? So please pay attention to the signs. This is negative 9 a1, therefore minus sign is written here. So minus 9 by this plus a2 is 10 divided by this polynomial. Okay. Now we can compare this with the standard polynomial. Okay. Now what is the region of convergence given here? The region of convergence is z is greater than 1 by 2. What is ROC given here? ROC is z mod of z is greater than 1 by 2. So if we plot this ROC on the z plane, if this is 1 by 2, so z is greater means the exterior. And for exterior ROC, this is right-sided ROC. So this is for the signal, right-sided signal. Therefore, we will use the formula where u of n is there. Okay. So this term we will compare with the standard formula. Which formula? A to the power n u of n. The z transform of this is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus az inverse. Okay. Now if we keep this 9 outside, minus sign is there. So this a is nothing but 1 by 2 here. A is nothing but 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2 to the power n u of n. Okay. So inverse z transformation is this plus plus 10 you keep outside. Now if we compare this with this, so what will be there? The inverse z transformation is this 1 by 3 to the power n u of n. Okay. So the final answer is, this is the final answer. Okay. So like this, we should find the z inverse for such polynomial. Okay, this is the first case we have worked out. Now we will take the second case. The second case is where m is greater than or equal to n and all poles are at different location. This is case number 2. Okay. Now, if the numerator polynomial is having more power than the the denominator polynomial, in that case, we will use the long division method. Okay. So we'll use the long division method until we'll get the n greater than m in the remainder. Okay. The remainder of the long division, until we get the n greater than m, we will do the long division. Okay, please remember here we'll do the long division, we'll use the long division method. Okay, for example, suppose I'm having h of z like this. Now here the number of zeros is equal to 3, number of poles is equal to 2. So this is the case where m is greater than n. And the ROC is given where modulus of z is greater than 2. Okay, now how to do the long division? So the numerator part, what we are dividing? We are dividing this term to this. Okay, so write this numerator term here. So we are dividing this by denominator. Okay, so the denominator we are having highest degree minus 2. Here the highest degree is minus 3. We will eliminate one by one. What we are eliminating here, our goal is to eliminate this n term, the higher term, 6z minus 3. 6 into z to the power minus 3. Here we are having 2 into z to the power minus 2. So if we multiply this term with 3 into z to the power minus 1, so what we will get? We will get, if we multiply this whole polynomial to 3 into z to the power minus 1, then only we can eliminate this term. Okay. So if we multiply this whole polynomial to this, so what we will get? This is 6 into z to the power minus 3. Again, minus 3 plus 3 is minus 9. Z to the power minus 1 into minus 1. This is z to the power minus 2. And this is z to the power 3 into z to the power minus 1. Okay. Now, if you do the subtraction here, this by minus this, so this term is 0. This is what? This is 4z to the power minus 2. Subtraction we are doing. This is 0. This is minus minus plus 9. And this is minus 5. Therefore, plus 4z to the power minus 2. This is minus z to the power minus 10. And 1 is same. Okay. Now, what we are getting in the remainder here, this remainder is having polynomial with power 2, z inverse power 2, and this is same. But what we want, we will do this long division till we'll get n greater than m. Okay, till n greater than m. We'll do this till n greater than m. Okay, but at this stage n equal to m is there. Okay, again we'll do this division. Now you can see here we are having 4z to the power minus 2. To eliminate this, we'll need, we are having 2z to the power minus 2. So if we multiply this by 2, so multiply this entire thing with 2. So this is 4z to the power minus 2. This is minus 6z to the power minus 1, and this is 2. Now subtract this. So this is 0. This is minus minus plus, therefore plus 5z to the power minus 1, and this is minus 1. So at this stage, we are having the remainder where n is greater than m. Okay. Now, why I am calling this n greater than m? Now, after doing this long division, how I will write the answer for this? So this is basically equal to, this division is basically equal to what? This is exactly divisible with 2 plus z to the power minus 1. And the remainder is what? Minus 1 plus 5 z to the power minus 1. And the denominator term is same, 1 minus 3 z to the power minus 1 plus 2 z to the power minus 2. Okay, now at this stage, I can say this is the remainder, and this where the n is greater than m. For this polynomial, we are having n greater than m. So till we need to do the long division. Okay. So h of z is like this. Okay. Now for this, if I apply the z inverse to this, so I know the z inverse of 2 is what? 2 into delta of n. Z inverse of this is what? 3 into delta of n minus 1. With the standard formula, we can get this. Okay. Now for this polynomial, we need to do the partial fraction method. Okay, partial fraction expansion we will need. Okay, so for that we will do the partial fraction expansion. And ROC is very important. ROC is positive here. That is Z is greater than 2 is given. That is right sided ROC is given. Okay. Now the denominator part, if we apply the partial fraction expansion to this polynomial. So the denominator part we can write like these roots. This 2 is minus 1 into minus 2 is plus 2, and minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. So this polynomial is written like this. Okay, 1 minus z to the power minus 1, 1 minus 2 into z to the power minus 1. Okay, now this we can split like this, a1 by 1 by this, a2 by this, 1 minus 2 like this. Okay, now the goal is to find a1 and a2 value. So like previous example, we will find a1 and a2. Okay, so a1 is, the formula is like this. For a2 is this. We will calculate at z equal to 1. A1 is calculated at z equal to 1. Okay, so we will remain with this, and if we put z equal to 1 here, z equal to means z inverse is equal to 1. So the value of a1 you will get is minus 4. Okay, similarly if we calculate a2, so a2 value is 3. So here we are calculating at z equal to 2. So z inverse is 1 by 2. Okay, so put z inverse equal to 1 by 2. So you will get a2 equal to 3. Now put the value minus 4 and 3. So for this, now h of z is like this. Now we will apply the inverse z transformation. So for 2, we know that this is 2 into delta of n plus 3 delta n minus 1. Now this is minus 4 will keep outside. This is nothing but the z transform of u of n, right? So this we can write u of n. And this is the z transform of what? This is z transform of plus 3 will keep outside. 2 where a is 2, so 2 to the power n u of n. Okay, so you should use this right sided signal z transformation. Why? Because the region of convergence is given, that is positive, the exterior. Okay, exterior ROC is given, not interior. Exterior ROC is nothing but the right sided ROC. Okay, so this is the inverse Z transformation of this example. Okay, where we are having the numerator polynomial with higher degrees. Okay, so this is the second case. Are you clear with the long division method? Is it clear to you? Any doubt in this, students?
I guess there is no doubt, doctor.
Okay, you are understanding this long division. Okay, so similar
Uh,
to this. Okay, okay. Now the third case. So the third case is where two or more number of poles are similar. Okay. So in that case, the general form we can write h of z like this. This is the general form for the case where two or more poles are similar. Okay. Now, two or more poles are similar means this third case. Okay. Where if two poles are at same location, then we will write the polynomial like this: 1 minus diz inverse to the power m. So if this is 2, then if di is having some value, so I'm saying that this is 1 minus, suppose 2 z to the power minus 1 to the power 2. Then there are two poles at the location z equal to 2. Correct? So This is the case where two or more similar poles are there in the system. Okay. Now this is the general form is written. Now if n is greater than m and all poles are different, then this case is only two exist. If m is greater than n or equal to n, then and all poles are different, then 1 and 2 exists, like the previous example we have seen. Okay. Now if n is greater than m and more than one pole are similar, so the 2 and 3 will exist, like this form will exist. Why we are talking about this general form? Why? Because we know the standard signal like z to the power minus m. We know the inverse z transform of z to the power minus 1. We know the inverse z transform of 1 divided by 1 minus dk into z to the power minus 1. Okay. And like this also we will find the inverse transformation. Okay. So therefore we are talking about this general form. Okay. And for what case what will exist, so that we are talking like the case 1, the case 2, and this is the third case we are looking at. Like if m now in the third case there are again two possibilities, like there may be n greater than m, there may be m greater than or equal to n. Okay. So these two possibilities are there where multiple poles are exist. Okay. Now for this case where the number of poles are more than number of zeros, so only this two form is exist, like this and this form will exist. Okay. This form is exist means what? When you solve h of z, you will get only this form. Okay. Now the case where m is greater than equal to n and the multiple poles are there at the same location in the system, then 1, 2, and 3 will exist. Okay. Now in that case, when we are having multiple poles at the same location, so in that case, you will get with this type of polynomial. So how to find this constant Cm? For this case, how to find this constant Cm? So here, please understand this m will go from 1 to s. Okay, and what is the s? S is how many multiple poles are there at the same location. S is nothing but number of multiple poles at same location. Okay. So this will go from summation m equal to 1 to capital S. Cm 1 minus di z to the power minus 1 to the power m. Okay, you can also write this dm instead of di. Oh, sorry. This is the case. This is d. This is di only because we are having multiple poles, that is z equal to di. We are having this multiple poles at the location where z equal to di. Okay. So S represent the number of multiple poles at this location z equal to di. Okay. So we need to find Cm like we have calculated AK. So like this, how to find Cm? So there is long formula to find Cm. Okay, so this formula, you need to memorize this formula. So Cm, if I want to find out, so Cm is nothing but 1 divided by s minus m factorial minus di to the power s minus m into this term. This is d dz of what? S minus 1. This is the derivative, s minus m times derivative of 1 minus diz inverse to the power s h of z, and this whole thing will calculate at z equal to di. Okay, are you getting this? So this formula, this is very long formula. Please memorize this formula. So the Cm, and this formula is applicable for, important, very important, for m equal not equal to s. This formula is applicable for m not equal to s. Okay. Now if I'm saying there are only two poles at the location z equal to di. Okay, so there are two poles means s equal to 2. Okay, so the summation will go from m equal to 1 to 2 Cm 1 minus di z inverse to the power m. Okay, so in this case the formula, so here C1 plus C2 will exist, correct? So this formula is only applicable for C1, I am saying. This is not applicable for C2. Okay. So now how to find C2 or CS? So to find CS, this is the formula, the standard which we have used in the partial fraction expansion method. Like this formula, you need to apply. Okay, so CS is nothing but equal to 1 minus diz inverse into h of z at z equal to di. Okay, so like this we will find the constant values for this. Now let us take an example. So h of z is like this. Now by looking at this h of z, you can say there are two poles at the location z equal to 1 by 2. Correct? So this is the third case. Okay. Now this we will expand. So there is one pole at z equal to 1, and there are two poles at z equal to 1 by 2. So there are total three poles. Okay, and 1 0. So this is the case where n is greater than n. Okay, so we will not need a long division method here. So long division method is only applicable where numerator is having higher degree. Okay, now the region of convergence is given where modulus of z is greater than 1. Now this we will expand like this. This h of z we will expand like this. Now look into this. A1, C1, C2. A1, C1, C2. Okay. So A1 is straightforward. So this denominator part, we can say this is only one pole at this location. Therefore, this is A1 divided by z to the power minus 1. And here there are two poles at this location. Therefore, this is C1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z to the power minus 1 to the power 1. C2 divide by 1 minus 1 by 2 z to the power minus 1 to the power 2 here. Okay. Now a1 is straightforward. We will apply this formula at z equal to 1. We will calculate this. Correct. So the value of a1 you will get equal to 4. Okay. Similarly, C1 for C1, we will apply this long formula. So the long formula is what? This formula. 1 divided by S minus M. Now we are having S is equal to 2. So 2 minus 1 factorial minus DI. DI value is what here? DI value is 1 by 2. DI value is minus 1 by 2. So minus DI to the power S minus 1. Therefore, this d by dz of minus 1. Okay. And this square into h of z at z equal to 1 by 2 we need to calculate. Okay. So if you solve this, you will get the value minus 2. Then d dz inverse, the derivative with respect to z inverse, if you do for this, if you multiply this, so denominator only we will left with what? So we will left with only, if you do this multiplication, so only we will left with z inverse divide by 1 minus z inverse. Okay. So z inverse 1 minus z inverse, if you do the derivative of this with respect to z inverse, so we will apply the rule d by dt of u by v. So this is v square v into du by dt minus u into dv by dt. Okay, this rule we will apply to this, and you will, if you solve this and put the value z inverse equal to 2, this is nothing but z inverse equal to 2. Okay, so you will end up with the answer c1 equal to minus 2. Okay, so we have found out the value c1 equal to minus 2. Similarly, C2, for the C2, we need to apply the formula. Now, C2 is nothing but the case where this is equal to CS. Okay, so therefore, this is calculated like partial fraction expansion, how we calculate. So, this, so if you solve this, you will get C2 equal to minus 2. Okay, so final H of Z is nothing but this is A1, this is C1, this is C2. Okay, now apply the standard Z inverse formula is here. So this is nothing but what? 4 into u of n. Here what is a? 1 by 2. So minus 2 will keep outside. This is Z inverse of 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2 to the power n u of n. And this is Z inverse of what? This is Z inverse of this formula. In the table we have seen n a to the power n u of n. So this formula we will apply here, because in the denominator we are having to the power 2. Okay, so therefore this is the inverse Z transformation of this. Okay, so the inverse Z transformation of this is like this: n plus 1, 1 by 2 to the power n plus 1, u of n plus 1. Okay, So like this, we need to find out the Z inverse. So this is little time consuming, and this third case where the calculation of this constant Cm is little difficult, because you should not miss any term while doing this derivative, or when we multiply this into this. So you should be very careful while doing this. Okay, so this is very long formula. You you need to memorize this formula. Okay, so third case is little difficult, but previous two cases are very much moderate. They are easy only. If you know the standard Z transformations for the standard signals, then it is easy to calculate Z inverse. Okay, so these are very important three cases in this inverse Z transformation. Okay, so very important thing is you should practice all these numericals. Otherwise, you cannot directly solve this example in the exam. Okay, so after lecture, when you get time, you should do the practice. You should solve this example by yourself on your notebook. Okay, with pen and paper, you should solve this. Then only you will be clear with the examples. Okay, so today we will stop here. Tomorrow in the tutorial session, we will do the properties, Z transform properties. Okay, and some examples on this properties. Okay, and tomorrow also I will give you some examples on the inverse Z transform, and you need to solve it and give me the final answer. Okay, so tomorrow be ready with the pen and paper for the tutorial session. Okay, yes,
All right,
student.
doctor.
Okay, so for today we will stop here.
Rajini, now I know your password.
Oh, yes, yes.